How are we doing, guys? 𝐼𝐈𝐓𝐇, Leeds versus Leicester, match preview of the game. So look, it's a big game, this one. They're all big games at this moment with where we are in the table, and it's a tough game. It's all cliches, but we know all of this. Every game in the league is a tough game. Last week against Norwich was a tough game. On paper, it shouldn't have been. But you can never take 4 points from 6 for granted in this league. No matter who you're playing, it's always a good thing. Win or a draw, you keep up that kind of form, you know what I mean, you're going to rocket up the table. Look, I know maybe performance-wise it's not been us at our best, but we've just got to get through this stage of the season that we're in. We're only a quarter of the way into the season. We've played some tough games early on. We've played pretty much all the top 6, the current top 6 in the table. So look, I know when we look at that table, 17th does not look good. It doesn't look good for anyone. You never want to be down there. But look, 4 points from the last 6 is a better sign. Yes, the performances maybe do need to pick up a little bit, but there's been certain other aspects that I think have been much better in the last couple of weeks. I think the character has been absolutely superb. Look, we score against Norwich, it goes to 1-1 2 minutes later, and then 2 minutes later we go up the other end and win the game. And I think really we managed to gain quite well from that point. I never really felt like Norwich were going to make it 2-2, so that was a positive. Obviously, getting ourselves that draw against Wolves, we persevered in that game. That was probably our best performance of the season, last time around at home to Wolves. So there's more character to this team. Like Watford win, getting that first clean sheet of the season. There's character in this team. There's no doubt about it. And that's the thing. That's the thing to start off with. Look, Leicester, we know they've got good players. Tielemans, Vardy, Barnes. The list is endless. Maddison. Lookman, there's so much attacking threat in that team. Defensively, they've got good defenders on that pitch as well. Johnny Evans, Ricardo Pereira, who I think actually might be out of this game. 𝐾𝐎𝐔𝐅𝐂 in goal, who we all know about. Leicester have got a good team. We've got to remember this Leicester team has finished just outside the Champions League by like a point in the last 2 seasons. Yes, maybe they've not been as good this season, but yeah, it's still going to be, in terms of when you match it up in terms of player for player, Leicester have got a lot of quality. They've got a lot of players in that team who would attract the interest of top 4 clubs, and I think will attract the interest ultimately in the future if Leicester don't pick up this season themselves. So look, it's going to be a tough game, but we've got threats as well. Raphinha is possibly one of the most informed forwards in the whole league at this moment in time. That goal he scored against Norwich, as I've said, I don't think any other team who's down there at this moment in time has a player who can produce a moment of magic like Raphinha did there against Norwich for that first goal. He's that good now, Raphinha, that it wasn't even a surprise when he scored the goal. I think any other player who scores that goal, it's probably the best goal they've scored all season. But for Raphinha, it's just another one for his collection. No other player for me within that kind of bottom 6, bottom 8, even if you can push him into kind of like the mid-table of the league, has a player who can produce moments like that. So that's absolutely massive for us. And that is a threat to Leicester because obviously 𝐼𝐈𝐓𝐇, they play a back 3. 𝐼𝐈𝐓𝐇 will presumably be on the left of the back 3. He's not in great form at the moment. He's going to have to face up against Raphinha. It'll be interesting how we set up in this game. I am filming this before the press conference, so I'm not sure what the team use is. But yeah, Bamford might be back available. Ayler might be back available. Let's see if they start. I don't think they will, personally. I don't think they will, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But Rodrigo obviously getting himself 2-2 is much better as well. So yes, you can look at the performances and be panicking a little bit because they've not been great. I don't think anyone sort of said the performances have been particularly good, as a collective in the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks. But there is positives there. We've got players in form defensively. I think we're a lot more stability defensively. We're tending to concede only 1 or keep clean sheets now. We're not conceding 2 or 3 and having to score 2 or 3 goals just to draw a game. We're not having to do that now. 𝐿𝐴𝐄 and Cooper formed a good partnership. 𝐾𝐎𝐔𝐑, I think, has done a good job at right back. Again, he might not be available for this game, so it might be 𝐿UCALEN coming in. But we have found stability at the back. Obviously, Calvin's come back into the team as well, so we have got that stability there. But yeah, look, Leicester have got clear threats. Leicester will be, we're looking at this game and thinking they should be trying to win because obviously the way where they are in the table at this moment in time. But let's not forget, they have just played on Thursday, yesterday evening. They did put a full team out. I wanted to film this after that Leicester game just to get an idea of what team Leicester put out. Vardy didn't start the game. A couple of others didn't either. But pretty much 7 or 8 of that starting 11 was Leicester's strongest 11 from my point of view, or the 11 that they've fielded the most this season. That was a very American term, wasn't it? Fielded. But you know what I mean. Selected, whatever words you want to put for it. But yeah, look, last week, we can't underestimate how much nerves played a factor, I think, in that performance last week. I talk about the performance last week, but we still won the game. As I said, we've got 4 points from the last six. Yeah, maybe performance-wise, you can argue Norwich probably deserved something last week, but at the end of the day, you can never take it for granted. And ultimately, we saw the game out well, as I've already said. But this is it. I don't think that's a game in terms of the mistakes we made in that game where you can just judge Leeds on, because the nerves were absolutely humongous going into that game. You know, we saw Burnley win, we saw Southampton win. We knew we had to win that game, so it was just a win at all costs, and that's what we did. We did our job at the end of the day, and that'll be a massive confidence boost for the lads. The fact we've gotten their away win, that second win of the season, 10 points from 10, we've hit double figures on points. It's just all psychologically a lot better. And look, Ellen Road last week, 2 weeks ago against Wolves, we saw the factor it played in that game. It massively changed the game in terms of Ellen Road in that second half against Wolves, and I'm sure it'll do the same against Leicester if we are in trouble in the game. Look, at the end of the day, I'm just going to finish this preview now. The performances aren't free-flowing, but you've just got to get through this. You've just got to get the points on the board, and then when you have got the points on the board, you can start to settle down a little bit, get the players back in, get everything gelling together a bit more. Obviously, 𝐘𝐎𝐿 has been in and out of the team. Loads of players have been in and out of the team. Rodrigo, just try and get that settled 11. I'm not blaming Marcelo Bielsa at all for that, because look, there's been injuries galore. Players have been in form and out of form. It's not easy to select a consistent starting 11. I just think Bielsa is trying to find that formula at this moment in time. Obviously, Jack Harrison started up front against Norwich. That just suggests to me we're still trying to find that formula, and you just got to get through this run of games now, and then things will get more settled. There'll be a little bit less nerves. We might have more opportunity to play the younger players. The 𝐾𝐿 drama, etc., Bates, all these kind of players that have been doing excellently when they have been given chances. So, yeah, I'm not too nervous at this moment in time. I think this is an opportunity for us. Leicester are a very, very good team, no doubt about it. They've got a top manager in Brendan Rodgers, but I think we can definitely give Leicester a game at the very, very least. I think Wolves personally have been better than Leicester this season. We outplayed Wolves 2 weeks ago. Let's see if we can do the same against Leicester. Tough game, but I'm hoping we can get something. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Make sure you check out later on this evening my opposition preview with Locks, my man Locks from the box. And as well, we'll be doing a new feature called the Line Up Predictor, which is just going to be done after Bielsa's press conference. And I will leave it there anyway, guys. See you later.